I was elected pastor of Southern Oaks United Pentecostal Church in 1996, in January. At the time that I was elected, the church was in the process of developing some land to build a building. As timing was, I would be responsible to place the building upon the land that the church had purchased. 1 year after my election, we broke ground for a new building, and 12 months later, we completed the building. We had to go a little bit in debt, not wanting to really go in over our heads on it, but God blessed us, and we were able to pay for about half of it during construction and upfront, and left us with a debt and a loan. It was during the time of the building constructed that I determined in my own self that whatever we did, we would continue to think missions first. I told the people, pay your tithes, pay your missions, then give to the building fund. I felt that that was so important because me constantly as a pastor, I would be asking people to sacrifice for the church things that they wanted and needed in their own homes, and that I should lead by example in the church and saying, let's put the work of God around the world before us and let God take care of our needs. To make the long story short, we paid off a mortgage of over $850,000 in 7 years. During the course of that time, our missions giving did not decline, but it increased. We had a faith promise service while we were making payments on our newly completed building. It was our first ever faith promise service. Brother Lehman came and he put the plea out, and on that night it showed more than a double of the missions giving that we had given in the previous years. And I told Brother Lehman, I know my congregation, that it'll be more than a double. And it was more than a double, probably about 60% increase in 1 year. And that's why we were making payments on our newly built building. God blessed us in turn, and we were able to pay that off in a short time. We had sold an old property that really helped us out, but I felt led to build a building somewhere in the world where they needed a building as a thanksgiving offering to God for helping us sell our old property. We chose to build a church building in Liberia, which had been war-torn and they had lost many properties. We built that building, and I felt during the time that we could have taken all the money and put it on our payments. I felt like the Lord blessed us immensely and helped us. Today we have a 26,000 square foot church building, 10 acres of property worth over $3 million in our Oklahoma City area. Beautiful, beautiful property that God had blessed us, debt-free, and we thank God for it. What a day that was when we burned that mortgage after only 7 years. And yet all during that time, our missions, giving, our Sheaves for Christ, our Christmas for Christ, all these major offerings, we were quick to hold up and increase. So I thank God for that, and I thank God that I was able, as a pastor, to model to the people that truly we can outgive the Lord, and that when we put even the national and international works ahead of our own local work, that God ultimately blesses our local work just like He would a family that would sacrifice for the cause of God.